I am very excited for today's tutorial called. In this video we are going to learn what is MongoDB and how we should be using MongoDB in an optimal way with Node.js and Express. But if you are new to this series, we guys are talking about implementing Flutter with custom backend, and the custom backend is including over MongoDB, Node.js, Express, JWT, Postman, JS, etc. This is a huge series, so you are welcome for joining in. So without further ado, please hit that like button over this video. It will only cost you minimal 2 seconds of your entire life. So please hit that like button. So with that said, let's get started. So in our previous tutorial, we implemented the following Express server under our entire application, but we don't need any of this. What we can really do is go under our browser and open the console of MongoDB over Atlas. So once you have created a free account over MongoDB, you should be creating a new cluster over it, and once you have created a new cluster from this option, we will be good to go. So you should be creating a new free cluster over your entire MongoDB server. So now once we have created a new cluster, you should be moving under the following collection button. Now the collections are going to be a form of documents called the MongoDB is NoSQL database. So once we have reached here, what we can really do is create a new collection or create a new database accordingly. But for now, what you can see is I already have a new collection here of to-dos, and if I simply insert a document under it, so under this method of insert to collection, you will be observing here a default ID that MongoDB shall be providing to us, which will be under a form of object ID, but we don't need to play with that. What we can really do is here add a new property of name, and you should be giving any sort of name to it as you need, and after that you should be also providing here any sort of next field, and for now let's provide here a new email. Cool. So once we have provided this, you can see the following options of string, array, binary, or any sort of thing as you want your data type to be. So for doing that thing, let's go at the bottom, and if I simply say here a new class, and under my class I will be writing here a class of 8, and instead of string I should be convert the following thing under number. So for that purpose you can go at the bottom and add here a new double property to your number, and once we have done this, you can insert the following document under your MongoDB collection. But we are not here to do everything manually, we need to conduct our MongoDB server programmatically. So for that purpose, first of all, let's configure our entire MongoDB with our Express server. So first thing first, you should be moving under the property of database access. Once you have reached here, you should be creating a new user under the database user. So under the following user method, you should be giving here any sort of name, let's say user123, and also you can give it any sort of password. Also you can generate some random password from the following tool, and you can simply see it, copy the following password and save under your own machine. But we won't be doing it because I already have configured a new user for my database. But what we can really do is add some database privileges to the following user. So under the following drop down, you should be seeing various options for your user, and you know what, you need to simply add the following property of read and write, which is default provided by MongoDB. You can also add a property of temporary user for your entire MongoDB, so that the following user shall be automatically removed from your entire database access. So for now you should be adding here a timing of 6 days, 1 day, week accordingly. What I can really do is edit my password from here and add auto generated password, and I will be copying the following password for now. And now let's update the following user. The update might take some time as the following changes will be deployed, but we don't need to go deeper into it. The next thing that we should be worried about is the following network access. So under this network access, you should be adding here IP address of the following thing, that is from anywhere including our own IP address. And for adding the following IP address, you should be moving under add IP address, and here you should be having your address of anything as you need. So I will be cancelling the following thing, and you should be conferring IP address as your machine have. So once you have added this, let's go under clusters, and onto my cluster I will be adding the property of connect. So onto my property of connect, you should be moving under connect your application. Let's place over it, and here you should be selecting Node.js of current version or later, and I will be copying the following MongoDB thing from here, and you should be pasting up under our entire project. So let's copy the following thing, close it up. So once we have created everything, we should be moving under our Visual Studio Code. And now instead of exposing my following secret ID to the entire public facing project, I will be doing one thing, that is create a new file under my entire project folder, and the property of our file is going to be environment variable. So you should be naming it .env. Under this you can give it any sort of name, but this is an industry standard name, that MongoDB URL shall be equal to this thing. So under the following URL you should be pasting the password under these quotes. Now pay attention that you have to remove the following angular brackets as well. So let me copy my password and paste it here. Alright, so once you have provided your password under your .env file, let's get started with connecting our MongoDB with our Express server. So first thing first, you should be opening your terminal and install some packages of MongoDB. So let's install MongoDB and also a package known as .env. Alright, not for .env but .env. Press enter. Alright, our packages are installed. Let's clear it up. So now what we can really do is go under our project folder, and onto my source I will be creating a new file called as database. Under this you should be writing here any sort of name to it, say let's say data.ts as well. And onto this file, first of all you should be importing MongoDB from the package, that is module of MongoDB. So here you should be writing MongoDB, and once you have imported MongoDB you should be also importing .env. So for that purpose you should be writing .env from .env. Press enter. Now if I hover over it, it must be saying that you should be also importing the following property, because we are using TypeScript. So let's copy the following piece of line, move under our terminal, paste it here, press enter. Cool, so the following property is added and our error should be gone accordingly. So once we have imported .env and MongoDB, not MongoDB, okay. So once we have imported both of these, let's start adding some piece of lines. First of all, what we can really do is initialize our .env. So here you should be writing .env.config, easy thing. So once we have done this, let's create a new method for connecting our MongoDB with our Express. So for that purpose, I should be writing here MongoDB.connect. This is one of the property of it. And under this, first of all, it will be requiring a URL from our MongoDB itself. So for getting that URL, you should be writing here process.env, and after env you should be writing here a path to your MongoDB URL. So the path is MongoDB URL itself, and we should be importing the following file as string. So you should be writing here string. Once we have provided this under the following object, you should be writing some different arguments for it. First of all, you should be writing here unified topology to be true, that is use unified topology to be true, just like this. And once you have provided the following object to it, you should be receiving a new callback through it. And under this callback, first of all, it should be giving us a new error and also some client data. So let's have here a property called as client. Easy thing. Let's add arrow function to it. Why not? And now what we can really do is add a new condition of error. So if we should be getting any sort of error, we will be throwing the following error. Easy. But if we won't get any error, what I will be doing is take a new constant called as database. Alright, a database, and I should be writing the following database should be equal to client.db. Alright, let's get the db, and once we have gotten our database, I should be writing here a new constant. Alright, a constant known as collection, and the following collection shall be equal to database dot. After pressing dot, you should be collecting a property of collection, just like this, and under this you should be getting a collection of string, that is the name of collection. And fortunately I have here a pre-built collection over users, so you should be connecting a new collection what is known as users, not users, it is to-dos. So now you should be writing here a collection of to-dos, just like this. And once we have added to-dos, what we can really do is use async and await quotation, cause the following data that we should be getting from our MongoDB is going to be asynchronous, and for using async await you should be writing the property of our entire method to be asynchronous. And under this I should be simply writing await for collection, and under my collection I should be writing collection dot find, and under this you should be writing under a form of to array, just like this. And now what we can really do is console log the entire data that we have received. So for that purpose, I can simply say let data, data from Mongo should be equal to under await state for this thing. And now I can console log the entire data that I have received. And now let's export our entire data to the following app.ts. So for that purpose, you should be writing export, let's say constant. And before testing it out, what we can really do is add here a property if the following client is connected. For that purpose, I should be writing here console.log, and under this I should be writing here a custom message of db connected. Because we don't need them, press Ctrl and S. And now let's open our terminal and write here a command of npm run dev. Cool, so our server is rocking at 8080. And also we are getting our message that db is connected, and also we are getting our all of the data which is available under MongoDB, which is Abhishek, that is name, email and class, which is 8 that we have just provided at the start of this tutorial. So congratulations, in this way we have successfully connected our MongoDB database with our Express server. What we can really do is instead of simply getting all of the data, we can also send some data to our entire MongoDB. And let's try sending some data to our MongoDB. So now what I can really do is instead of sending data from MongoDB, I can say send data to MongoDB, just like this. Alright, let's remove them off. And here instead of finding all the data, I can remove this off, and I can add here property of insert of 1. Now here it should be requiring documents as we need to provide there. So under this I will be providing here a document of name. And under this I should be writing any sort of name, let's say Abhishek 2, and also I should be sending a new email to it. So once we have provided our data, it should be also requiring a callback. So here let's have callback of error. So here if we simply get our new error, we should be simply printing out our entire data. But after having this error, I should be also getting my data, that is a response from MongoDB. So let's add data into it as well. Alright, let's come down here. So under my data, first of all I should be saying if error, that is if error occurs, simply send me the entire error, else simply console log the entire data. So for that purpose, let's add console.log the entire data. So now let's copy the following thing, and here let's say post data to MongoDB. Let's copy the following thing. Let's go back under our app.ts, paste it here. Alright, we don't need this one for now, remove them off. So under our app.ts, let's import this thing from our file, format document first, and now let's test it out. So press enter, and now let's open our console once. So here I should be writing npm run dev, press enter. Cool, so our database is connected and we are now successfully able to send our entire data to our MongoDB. So let's check out whether we have sent our data to our MongoDB or not. So let's open our MongoDB console. Let's refresh our entire page once. Alright, it is loading up, no worries. And here you can see a new document is inserted having a name to be Abhishek 2 and also an email to be my following name. Congratulations, we are doing great. Now let's go forward, and after having the following insert one, let's also play with some more data, that is add some more. So for that purpose, I will be writing here a property of insert many, just like this. So for sending many data to it, I will be requiring a list of the data. So let's remove the following thing from here. And if I hover over insert many, it should be requiring a collection of any. So here let's add a new collection. Let's add a comma, easy. So let's remove off the wait statement from here cause we won't be needing it. So let's go and add some more JSON data under it. Let's say we have 3 different data. And first of all, let's provide here a name. So I can really do one thing is copy the following thing off from here. And let's remove this thing off, paste it here. And also under our third bracket, I should be pasting up here. So now what I can really do is remove off my 1. And here I should be adding the property of 2, that is user 2. And here you should be adding the property of user 3. Let's try sending our entire data. So now the server is restarting one more time. Did you see that the inserted count under our entire data is 3 and we have inserted 3 different IDs of 0, 1 and 2. And if you see our entire data, it should be looking like this, having some different auto generated IDs. Let's check our MongoDB once after reloading it one more time. Alright, so here you can see we have added number of users as we need. Congratulations, we have done a great job. So now what we can really do is, once we have sent all of our data, let's remove it off from here. And instead of inserting many one, we can find a particular data as well. So here let's add the property of find one. So our find one shall be requiring two different properties. First of all, it will be requiring here a filter. So here let's provide here a new filter to our entire MongoDB. So first of all, I should be writing here a new constant of filter. The name of the user that I need to find should be user of one. Easy. I will be copying the following filter from here and paste it here just like this. And now I will be adding here a new callback of error and data. Let's throw it up. And here if I simply get any error, I will be throwing my error. Else I will be console logging the following data that I have received. Alright, console.log data. And after pressing data, you should be seeing that particular option shall be appearing to us as well. Cool, so format document first, and now let's try it out. Cool, so did you see that we are now getting the data of user 1 having the following email and also a particular UID. Now let's do one thing, add a new condition to it, that is a new filter of 2. Let's press enter. Did you see that we are now getting our user 2 from our MongoDB as well? So once we are able to find some data from our MongoDB as well, let's do one thing, try to delete some data from MongoDB. So for that, I should be writing here a property of delete one. Let's delete the user 2 from our MongoDB. Let's open our console one more time. Cool, so did you see that a large bump of data has appeared to us, and here it shows that deleted count is 1. So let's check our MongoDB and let's see if we are deleted the following data of user 2. So let's go here and reload our entire application once. Cool, so here let's go at the bottom side, and I can't find user 2 cause we have deleted the user 2. But you know what, if I reload my entire application once, let's check whether the MongoDB deletes the data that is not already present into it. Cool, so our server is started. Did you see that we are getting the message of deleted count is 1 cause the data is not present under our entire MongoDB database. So let's add a property of 3 and let's reload the entire server one more time. Alright, our server is connected, and also we can see we are getting a deleted count of 1. Let's check our MongoDB and load it one more time. Alright, let's scroll down, and I can't see user 3 as well cause the following user is deleted. Now we have learned how to delete all of our data from MongoDB through our Express server. Congratulations. So once we have done this, let's check our last operation of today, which is updating some data of a user. So here let's have property of update 1, and after having the filter, it should be requiring some update data, that is updated data. So under updated data, let's throw a new object, and under this let's have a new email. So under email, I should be writing here a new email, let's say updated. Alright, updated email. Alright, I'm bad at spelling, you know this. So I will be copying the following field here, paste it here, add a comma, and we are good to go. So I should be updating a user 1 to it cause user 3 is already deleted. So let's open our terminal. Alright, we are getting an error, no worries. If I hover over it, you should be saying that update document requires atomic operators, and for this purpose we need to use custom ORM for our MongoDB, which is Mongoose, and we should be using Mongoose under our next tutorial, in which we should be adding some CRUD functionalities using our Postman, that the following Postman that we have used in our previous tutorial. We should be using it for defining CRUD operations from our MongoDB with the help of Mongoose, which is ODM, which stands for Object Data, I guess ODM manipulation or something. I don't know the full form, but it is ORM, which stands for Object Relational Manager. So I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial, and if you do so, please hit that like button. It will be awesome if you hit that like button on this video. Thank you so much for hitting like button. So I will see you in the next one, while we shall be carrying out some custom Postman operations over our MongoDB database with the help of Express and Mongoose, which stands for ORM, which is Object Relational Manager. So till then, I will see you in a next tutorial for implementing this functionality. Goodbye.